Apple Hedgehog, or Iced Apples, by Hildegonda J. Duckett. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Ingredients: 3 dozen good cooking apples, 1/2 pound of sugar, 1 pint water, a few sweet almonds, the rind of half a lemon minced very fine, the whites of 2 eggs, 3 tablespoons of pounded sugar. Peel and core a dozen of the apples without dividing, then stew in a tin-lined saucepan with half pound of sugar and pint of water, and when tender lift them carefully on a dish. Have ready the remainder of the apples cored and sliced, put them into the same syrup with the lemon peel, and boil gently till reduced to a pulp. Keep stirring to prevent burning. Cover the bottom of a dish with some of this apple marmalade, then a layer of the whole apples, and fill up the cavities with the marmalade, then another layer, and so on, forming the whole in a raised oval shape. Whip the whites of the eggs to a stiff froth, mix with the pounded sugar, and cover the apples very smoothly all over with the icing. Blanch and cut some almonds into 4 or 5 strips. Stick these strips in upright at equal distances over the icing like the spines of a hedgehog, and place the dish in a slow oven for a few minutes before serving. End of Apple Hedgehog or Iced Apples, by Hildegonda J. Duckett.
Bed Books and Night Lights by H. M. Tomlinson. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Bed Books and Night Lights by H. M. Tomlinson. I shall not forget with what a thrill of delight I came upon H. M. Tomlinson's Old Junk, the volume of essays from which this is borrowed. One feels, in stumbling upon such a book, much as some happy and astounded readers must have felt in 1878, when An Inland Voyage came out. It makes one wonder, submitting oneself to the moving music and magic of that prose, so simple and yet so subtle in its flavor, whether poetry is not, after all, an inferior and more mechanic form. The cool element of prose, that perfect phrase of Milton's, comes back to mind. How direct and satisfying a passage to the mind Mr. Tomlinson's paragraphs have! How they build and cumulate, how the sentences shift, turn, and move in delicate loops and ridges under the blowing wind of thought, like the sand of the dunes that he describes in one essay. And through it all, as intangible but as real and beautifying as moonlight, there is the pervading brightness of a particular way of looking at the world, something for which we have no catchword, the illumination of a spirit at once humorous, melancholy, shrewd, lovely, and humane. Somehow, when one is caught in the web of that exquisite, considered prose, the awkward symbols of speech seem transparent. We come close to a man's mind. In Mr. Tomlinson's 3 books, The Sea in the Jungle, 1912, Old Junk, 1920, and London River, 1921, is revealed one of the most sincere and perfect workmen in contemporary prose. H. M. Tomlinson was born in 1873. Among his early memories he records, "I was an office boy and a clerk among London's ships in the last days of the clippers, and I am forced to recall some of the things, such as bookkeeping in a jam factory and stoking on a tramp steamer." He joined the staff of the London Morning Leader in 1904, which was later merged with the Daily News, and to this journal he was attached for several years. During the war he was a correspondent in France. At the danger of incurring his anger, should he see this, I quote Mr. S. K. Ratcliffe on this phase of his work. "One who was the friend of all, a sweet and fine spirit, moving
Sample complete. Ready to continue?